Notice how Zubul doesn't interrupt the intermission up until Jax is tormented with a reminder of his lost friend. This is such a sad detail to me. Ragatha's first instinct here is to panic and brace herself for verbal backlash because of her earlier outburst. Her mom must have been pretty vile. I like the little touch that Pomni voted no in making Jax wear the maid outfit. This touch really shows their growing bond and Pomni's sympathy for Jax's insecure or softer side. In the Fireflies scene, when Jax is talking about losing his tail, there is a cloud that resembles a bunny with its tail coming off. But next to the rabbit cloud is a bow tie, which I think means he lost his tail around the same time his frog friend abstracted, because on his door he's wearing a bow tie. Something I noticed is when player characters swear, it's a cartoonish sound effect, but when an NPC character swears, it's the usual censored. Pomni, being the one that is able to get along with everybody and not simply hating Jax, feels like it's setting up to Ragatha feeling inadequate, since not everybody really likes spending time with her, so she might end up abstracting soon. Jax probably knows this would hurt Ragatha the most, with Gangle and Zubul becoming closer and Kinger being the odd one. Jax and Ragatha both need Pomni to side with them, but if Jax wins, then Ragatha might break. I knew it. Ragatha once mentioned in the fast food episode that she missed her horses.
I miss my horses.
Which was meant to hint that she actually had a plot of land with horses in real life. I love the detail of Jax looking away when Ragatha mentions her mother. It creates an interesting parallel between the two. One handles their trauma through an optimistic attitude, the other handles it through pushing everyone away. His half-finished sentence about,
"Give me a whiskey sour, but hold the egg white since I'm a vegan." What? I hate this! How is this even possible? I thought Cain couldn't.
Is pretty haunting. I figure he's saying that he thought Cain couldn't alter their minds or consciousness. He can, on a whim. What else has he tampered with trying to keep them complacent? In the bar scene, after Ragatha finishes talking about her mom, you can see that Jax looks sad for her, and then he decides to break the tension of the memento by talking to Kinger and making the moment less embarrassing for Ragatha. Brilliant. Can we just talk about the NPC at the end? I remember in one episode where Cain deleted Gummigoo from the circus because he said NPCs aren't allowed in the circus because he might lose track of who is real and who isn't. I feel like there's a plot twist coming in the next episode. Love this moment here. The look Ragatha gives Pomni as she sees her laughing at Jax's antics. The fact Pomni seems to be genuinely getting along with Jax when he's not actively picking on her, despite Ragatha putting in so much effort to befriend both of them to mixed results. Love it. After 51 watches of this episode, here is every detail I've noticed. Zubul is reading Circus Magazine, and the issue is, what do your parts say about you? Cain fixes Gangle's mask without her having to ask. This announcement is so displeasing that even Gangle is frowning with her comedy mask. Kinger starts nodding even though he was not only not being addressed, but also not there for it. Even if he was, him remembering it wouldn't make any sense. Bubble blinks out of sync like Kinger, and Cain notices. This is why Ragatha fakes her kindness. When she lets loose at a natural time, people are offended by it instead of understanding. Pomni giving her the green light a minute earlier and then telling her to calm down is a type of betrayal. Ragatha realizes Pomni's trick here. She just wanted to get Ragatha away so she could get Jax to open up without being interrupted.
Well, I hope we all learned that suggestion box ideas are actually not fun at all, and Cain's ideas are much better.
This is the first time Cain doesn't say welcome back, because he's so eager to discredit the suggestion box adventures. Honestly, the way Jax talks about Ragatha at 8:52 makes me think he used to find comfort in Ragatha when he first got into the digital circus. But as time went on, that comfortable feeling he had with Ragatha disappeared. Like Gangle said, it's hard to tell when Ragatha is genuine. I really like Jax's—
Do you think Gangle is actually capable of being happy? She likes when I'm mean to her, though.
Gives me the impression that Jax does actually care about everyone, but doesn't actually understand them, given that he pushes everyone away. It's like a relationship where you thought you had this kind of connection, but it's just actually you thinking that.
She must be one of them, loser.
I don't know if I was the only one laughing about that, but why did Jax take so long to say losers? People theorized that it's because he was gonna say weeboo, but then didn't, because it would out him as knowing the word. But he does say
Slice of life animes are the worst ones.
which implies he may be a weeb too. I love how Jax specifically asked not to embarrass Pomni in the briefings. Fun fact, at 1720 in Russian dub, Bazubal references Skibidi Toilet.
Я базубал, скибиди-бо бада.
Так, я так.
In the Dutch, German, Filipino, Indonesian, Russian, and Ukrainian audio tracks, he sings the anthems of the respective countries.
Eine
Bayang Indonesia
And the Portuguese one has him singing something else entirely. In Portuguese, it sings the unofficial anthem, the song Evidências, which is just an extremely wildly popular and widespread song we have. I'm crying. Kinger restoring a heart because he made it up. Ricocheting a bullet off all the walls because he said so. Pomni hitting her targets without aiming. Zubul suddenly finding a bunch of weapons in her room. I think the characters can control the digital circus as they see it, but they don't realize it. I like the hint of Jax saying people who are close to abstracting are unpleasant to be around. Meanwhile, Jax is falling apart and hiding it, and acting so unpleasant to be around. I love how safe Kinger is with guns. He keeps his finger off the trigger when he's not aiming, and he points the gun away from others. The slight smile Jax gives Pomni when she hugs him, before getting terrified because he knows he has to push everyone away to avoid the grief of eventually losing them. I am unwell. The part where Kinger restored a heart of Ragatha's and simply said, I made it up, got me thinking, what if they had the power of Cain? He just prevents them from knowing. The fact that Jax kept shooting Ragatha even when there were no more bullets just shows how angry he really is, but masks it with playfulness. Also, he got his tail back. Who else noticed the Cain and Abel engraving on Pomni's gun? I feel like not enough people are talking about this. I love how the artist used Jax's eyes to portray when he is speaking honestly versus when he is using a facade. Switching between the large dilated pupils when he's acting as the funny one, and then the tiny square pupils when he's showing people honest parts of himself. It's so genius. I love how Zubul finally got the stupid sauce at the end. A nice detail is that during his explanation of the situation with Pomni, he hesitates before saying cartoon jester, as if trying to find a way to say it without hurting her.
Then the next, you're just a weird little cartoon jester.
Although during his breakdown, you can see him call her cartoon clown, as he is doing his best to push her away.
Can you take anything seriously?
Dude, you're a cartoon clown.
So, yeah, he was really trying to be a good friend before realizing he got too close, at least in his perspective. To be honest, I'm really starting to notice Pomni's character growth. She is seeming to feel way more comfortable with everything and everyone. I like the detail on how when Pomni says she doesn't want to kill her friends, she hits the can, but it doesn't budge. Means the circus follows the intent behind what the character wants. That's why Kinger was able to use the butterfly, because he wanted that to happen truly. Ooh, then that means Ragatha didn't actually want to shoot Jax at the start. Yes, exactly. Thanks for noticing that. I was thinking about how strange it was that the gun was fake.
I'm the one who causes pain for fun! There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
There's so many layers of meaning behind that, I can't even begin to interpret them all. Fun fact, right after Cain's crash out, you can hear a ding sound, implying that Zubul's request was granted. The more Cain loses his patience, the more he will start breaking rules he set in place, such as no cursing and affecting the characters' minds. Why is nobody talking how Kinger fanning his revolver? Man is experienced when it comes to firearms. He deliberately chose to fight them in the dark so that he's more mentally stable. That has interesting implications regarding his ability to remember things. And so he can intentionally remember stuff like his ammo count, and then he pulls out a lighter to check his revolver's rounds. One more detail from me. There's this text engraved on a firearm. I couldn't help but tell you about this. In the beginning, we see Zubul with a wing as their right arm. Now, when the team gathers to meet Cain, Zubul have an actual arm. With the 5.7 minutes Cain gave them, they probably went to their room and got an arm. Or it's a continuity error.
We need even numbers, cause today's adventure is a team adventure!
Cain's all-seeing eyes are back. Before Cain's crash out, the team spread around the floor. After Cain's crash out, they look like lining up behind Zubul. What's going on? Bubble is getting tired of carrying the camera. Cain pulled Zubul by grabbing their neck. What an unusual way to do it.
Team surviving is the winner. Happy?
I wonder who he's gonna shoot. At first, this came as a shock to me, but then I remember he has all the keys to everyone's room. Pomni lying flat for a split second. At first, I wonder how they all get ammos, but then I realized about the theory that they can do anything they want. Means the circus follows the intent behind what the character wants. So I thought they made the ammo out of thin air. But then, I got confused again because in this scene, Jax run out of ammo and can't seem to do what I thought they always do. In this scene, when Zubul is telling Cain what they want, the circus doesn't censor their mouth. Is this an error? Or it's what I think it is about when the language gets even fouler than usual?
God.
There's a hidden message in here that looks like chill fella. Oh god. When Pomni gets triggered after Jax claims he'll forget her when she abstracts, she's remembering her nightmare from episode 2 when he says,
I don't even remember her name, honestly.
That's a deep cut, man. After the 6th episode, I have a theory that the only way they could exit is simply if they believe that they could. The only times exit doors ever came out was because Pomni kept thinking about it, but the doubt in her mind was still keeping her from escaping. It's me here. Remember we talked about the circus going with the character's intentions? I think this is one scene when Jax actually used his free will.
I've been looking for this. Thanks for keeping an eye on it, Coffee. I'm gonna head out. See ya.
This is the only time we see anyone disappearing in cartoon style. Seeing Ragatha not caring about it makes me wonder if she's aware of her free will too.
Sheesh, lay off it. Since when are you an expert on the digital world?
10 out of 10 foreshadowing.
I've got keys everywhere, and you've all been fine.
After episode 6, I think Jax has the keys so he can check up on them because he's worried about them. But he plays it as him being annoying and intrusive. If he really didn't care, why would he go out of his way to get keys for their rooms in the first place? Jax is being such a brave boy sitting that close to the plate of corn. When Kaufmo funeral is mentioned, Jax seems sad in a split second and then shrugging off the whole thing and bailing. It shows what we all saw in episode 6. He actually cares the most and is absolutely terrified of being crushed by the pain and loss and eventually get abstracted himself. Never noticed it before. My theory is that when Gangle is walking in the fast food place and she had those weird thoughts, I think she was gonna abstract. But when Pomni said,
I can close for you if you want.
that brought her back to life. Ooh, that's entirely possible. There are similarities in the scene between Gangle's depressive episode and Jax trying to calm himself in the bathroom at the end of episode 6.
So,
Rabbits can lose their tail, though it is not a natural occurrence and indicates an injury or severe health issue. The tail can be torn off by trauma, so that means it happened when Jax lost Ribbit. Though in the next episode, he does have a tail. It grows back because he was getting better, being with Pomni. But usually, Bunny can't grow their tail back. It's just different in the digital world. Trauma in that context is just another word for injury. I think the tail bit is just meant to show his grasp on reality slipping, since he really doesn't have a tail in any other episode. The reason he gets it back may be Kane trying to keep him from going insane. Jax is a professional rage baiter.